What's up, everybody? It's James sitting here, your favorite nomadic urban survivor. Sitting here down, just still in the downtown area, but not really downtown Sacramento. Starting to get more into the residential side where I'm at. But take a few minutes here because I've been doing some paracord work recently. Some of you may know watching previous videos that I'm trying to start a business. I recently found out a place I can rent a virtual office space from. I have an appointment Thursday afternoon to go tour the facility and see what all they offer. But today, like I said, getting back to my paracord stuff, I need to keep my knife sharp for slicing the paracord. Primarily, if I'm out and about like I'm doing now, just because I'm homeless, I use my EDC. And it got me to thinking the other day, because I had to sharpen this. You know, it's still fairly sharp here. Feels like it's got a couple of burrs starting to build up on it. But I am going to leave my comfort zone. Anybody that's ever watched any of my videos will tell you fire making seems to be my comfort zone. And you're absolutely right. That's the thing I learned at a young age, how to start a fire. And the same night I learned how to start a fire, I learned how to build a fire. I'll probably not here in the heart of the city, but eventually I will throw a little more light on building a proper fire, different tenders, stuff. But today, like I said, I'm going to leave my comfort zone. Like I said the other day, I had to sharpen my EDC. I was using it so much, it's starting to get dull. And so, yeah, I'm going to do a real quick video on sharpening. And like I said, sharpening is not my comfort zone. I am a firm believer that I got enough friends that sharpen knives. I don't have to sharpen my knife, but I'm not working in a restaurant anymore. It was cool when every Tuesday Dave come in, he'd drop off the knives that were sharp, that he took last week, that he sharpened, and he would take the ones he dropped off last week. Don't really have that luxury anymore, so I'm just gonna go over a couple of real quick pieces that I have in my sharpening kit, I guess you would say. And I'm going to go in order that I received them or purchased them, or actually just took ownership of them. I'm actually a Smith guy. This here is the Smith's Pocket Pal. It's got a coarse carbide side. It's got your fine ceramic side. And it's got a diamond here for fish hooks, doing your serrated edge. Like on my EDC, it's got a little serrated edge here. You'll see there's a little bit of serrated edge there. And that'll work good for hitting the edges on that. Just kind of, there's two ways to do it. The way I was shown is you come up this way. Actually, matter of fact, let me drop this down on just a hair, because trying to hold everything up in my face, you don't really want to see my face. You want to see the knife sharpeners. Besides that, I got a really big tree in the back that interferes with me. But essentially, let's see where I'm at. There we are. We'll drop it down. That's a good spot there. But essentially, you know, you would run your blade through the carbide, then through your fine ceramic side. For your serrated edge, your diamond sharpener, you hit the serrades like this, come up and hit each one of them. The way I do it is I come back this way and pull away. You can also come back down this way. This way you increase more chance to put a burr on the back of your serrated edge there. But the Smith pocket tool is the first one that I bought. I bought it on the recommendation of the salesman where at Sportsman's Warehouse where I bought my K-bar. I bought this at the same time. He said this is the only sharpener he uses in the field, and off of his recommendation I bought it, and I've been a Smith guy ever since. The second stone I bought is the Smith 8-inch. It's a dual grit combination synthetic stone. Gray side here is the coarse side. It's 100 grit. The sort of green side here is the finer grit. It's 240 grit. This is a synthetic stone. It's man-made material, and they use it. It's used similar in the way of a diamond sharpener would be. There are times that I use this wet. There are times that I will use this dry. It just depends. But primarily what I use this for is my 2 hatchets. I use it kind of like the little puck where you go side to side in the circles all the way around. But yeah, this is the Smith 8-inch dual grit synthetic stone, combination stone. This is the second stone I bought. First bench stone I bought. First nice sharpener I ever bought. This here, this is the Smith dual grit diamond combo. You see it's got the yellow side here is coarse. It's got the orange side here is a little finer, and use it just like you would any other sharpener. Tilt the knife up, bring it back down, flip it over, do the same thing on the back. This one I acquired because some idiot borrowed $5 off of me and decided, hey, I don't have the $5 to pay it back. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that Smith diamond sharpener as collateral until you pay me back. I've had this thing for almost a year now. I think it's been about 10 months. He ain't come off the $5 he owes me. I'm not giving it back. As far as I'm concerned, he can keep the $5. I got me a sharpener out of it. That's all that matters. But the handle, as you see, everything slides together like so. Give you a little extra length for holding on to it. It's actually big enough I can wrap my hand around that little handle there compared to this little thing. Then I got my preferred go-to stone is the Smith. Again, everything, like I said, I'm a Smith guy. I'm not gonna lie. This is my go-to stone. This is my Smith's 4-inch natural Arkansas. And in fact, this is the one I'm just gonna use real quick here to do the brief demonstration on sharpening your knives. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert. Where I am now compared to where I was a year ago when I bought my first 2 stones, at least now when I run the edge of my blade across a piece of paper, it will slice now instead of tear. But the piece of paper is the only thing I really don't have at the moment. But my Arkansas stone, I primarily use wet. Hold on, we got traffic going by. Sorry about that. Really big delivery truck or delivery van. But essentially, I almost always use this wet. You can use water, you can use oil, you can use spit. I've used water and spit. When I was a kid, my dad tried to teach me how to sharpen knives. He always used toning oil on his stones. There's no wrong way to use your stone. Use it wet, use it dry, use it with oil, use it with water, whatever. really doesn't make a difference until you get to where you have to clean your stone periodically. You can see mine starting to get a little gray buildup in there from all the shavings coming off. Every 5-6 uses, you should clean your stone. I use a real stiff tiff brush. I use a real stiff toothbrush, some mild soap, scrub it up, rinse it off, clean it out. It reopens all the pores, cleans all the gunk out of the pores, and you just let them air out and dry out. Same thing with the diamond. Same thing with my dual grit synthetic. The only one I don't clean is the pocket pound, and that is because it said do not clean, do not tear apart, don't do all them things we used to do as a kid when we're told we're not supposed to do. I decided not to do with this. There's a reason I was told not to do it, so I didn't do it. But last but not least in my collection is a couple of pieces of leather that are homemade palm strops, and essentially that's what they are. When I call them palm strops, that's what they are. They sit in your palm. I can set them on my leg, I can set them on the table, whatever it is I'm working on, and I can just, how about it? These actually got a little bit damp the other day, but not overly bad. I can still use them. But without further ado, like I said, I'm going to go and put a shot of water on my stone real quick, and I'm just going to dip my hand in the dog bowl real quick and dump it on the stone. So give me a second, I'll be right back. See, stick a little water there on the stone, dry my hand. But, and like I said again, I don't claim to be an expert about sharpening a knife, but I'm better now sharpening my knife than I was a year ago. So without further ado, first thing you need to do is expose the blade. Take your stone, lay it down, give it a slight tilt on the angle so you can find your bevel, and then essentially you just want to let the stone do the work for you. About 5 times on that side. And anybody with more experience at sharpening a knife than I do, feel free to jump in on the comments and give me some tips. And whoops, you don't want to do that. You want to actually control the knife. And don't be afraid to pull your blade back so that you can get the tip. You'll see right here, get a nice little black streak starting. You can see where the metal is actually being shaved off the blade. So actually, I probably didn't need to shave the sharpen quite that many times, but like I said, I'm not that good at this. Wipe off some of the filler. Grab me a palm strop. Take my palm strop in my palm. Take the edge of my blade. Same principle as the knife, as the stone. only instead of going with the grain of the stone, you pull the blade backwards. Essentially, this is much easier. I normally do this on my thigh or on a table or something, but the camera doesn't go down that low. I'd have to readjust the legs. So we'll make do here. And essentially what the strop is doing, the strop really doesn't sharpen anything. It smooths out and removes the burrs and helps polish the blade to a razor sharp point. And matter of fact, my strops, I cut one piece and a friend of mine cut the other piece, but essentially I got both strops were made at the same time, and the little white compound you see on the front here was actually put on by my friend Wiley over at RW Fred. He's makes custom knives and a few other things. The privilege of being a blacksmith, I guess. You can make your own stuff fairly cheap. And I'm gonna dig out a piece of paper real quick and we're gonna see how sharp this baby is. So give me half a second and get in my backpack here, find us a piece of paper, preferably not one that's needed for anything. And what do we got? We got anything? Nope, that one's, I need a piece that is blank. Do I have anything that is blank? Yeah, that'll work. It's not totally blank, but it's blank enough. And let's test the sharpness, honey. Let's see, we'll do a little the paper test here. That one ripped. And that, you can see my fingers are still in the way there, but I'm going to call that sharpened. So you can see this one here, it tore when I don't know what I was doing. That yeah, we're gonna call that, all them little slices and dices, we're gonna call this one sharp, or at least sharp enough for what I need it for. So sorry this video ran long. Hope y'all learned something. Like I said, anybody with more experience than I have that is willing to partake a few moments to incorporate a few, let me put my knife away, but incorporate a few moments of your time to pass on a few tips or suggestions would be helpful, be great. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this. Sharpening my knife is not really my comfort zone, but it's something I have to do. It's something that's going to only come with practice. So as always, let me do a few things here, shut that so it doesn't blow away. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Happy trails, be safe. I will see you down the road. Peace. I'm out of here.